yes, now it's time to get to the topics. And man, I gotta talk about something I don't give a flying fuck about, but I also am kind of irritated with.
The Walking Dead.
No, I love that. What do you feel about Carrie Fisher, Billy D. Williams, and Mark Hamill being in the new Star Wars Episode 9?
It's one of those things, like, it's constantly going to do callbacks. We've seen that already with the last two, so to even pretend to be surprised is kind of being disingenuous, because we've seen what they lead up to, so if they're going to have, like, everybody come back, Lando, and I wouldn't be surprised if they had fucking Charles Gambino show up to do, like, a time travel fuck-up thing, like they did in the Star Trek. Like, at this point, like, I'm more expecting a remake of Return of the Jedi and hoping I maybe get, like, an update of Ewoks, the best of it. But I'm really not hyped for it. Like I said, guys, I found certain ways to watch, the Han Solo movie, and even then I gave up halfway. I'm just interested with Star Wars as far as it comes now.
Jesus Christ. Just let it be. Don't try to bring back Mark Hamill. Don't bring back Billy D. Like, can't y'all move forward? This whole freaking series is supposed to be moving forward, and it keeps moving backwards. Like, it's just, yeah, why?
No, it's fucking ridiculous.
Why?
VBM saying Lando will die in Episode 9. That's probably why they're bringing it back to kill him off, because they killed off, Harrison Ford.
Yeah, well, stop bringing back old characters to just kill them. Like, just let them live the rest of their lives out and doing whatever the heck they do.
Allie, you know what's probably gonna happen?
Why?
Is that my lost long son?
Oh my God!
They're not gonna be that dumb.
No, they will. They're like WWE.
What? Everyone's a rule of one when it comes
to
Yeah, honestly, yeah. You know what? Let's take a bet right now.
I knew you were gonna go there.
Yes, let's take a bet. I'm telling you, dude.
No, you know what? I'll stick to my own on this. I don't think they're related.
I'll say that John Boyega and Lando are related only because of the fact that everybody in the Star Wars universe, for some reason, I guess the entire universe takes place in one household because everybody is related.
This is like Friday. You know what it is? It's just like Friday.
So for continuity, Alan's making fun of me because I compared movies to other movies. That was Gonda's joke. He's still Gonda's joke. But the main
he's doing it well.
We're all this together.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is like Sorry to Bother.
This whole conversation is going off the fucking rim.
Oh, fuck Star Wars. Nothing, though. You guys want to say that I always compare everything. Let me compare it to Star Wars. They're bringing back an extinct creature, Carrie Fisher, back to the fucking franchise. She's been there for 2 fucking years.
Look. I'll say this. In Star Wars defense, they already planned her to be...
Oh, actually.
Because they were planning for her to, unfortunately pass away mid-production of a movie. Like, this is the same situation that happened with Paul Walker. He died halfway through the production of one of the Fast and Furious. I think it was 7.
Bring it back for Fast and Furious 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Or whatever.
No, but the thing is he died in the middle of 7, so they finished off his arc and just had to do what they had to do. As far as whatever the story was for the trilogy, she was still supposed to have massive roles. So it's like she probably already filmed some roles for 9 anyway. I heard they did that. So
you already had the reaction, and we all knew it was going to happen, but it was so effective because this person actually did die. So it's like, okay, this is emotional. Like, even when I watched it and that happened, I was like, oh, that's fucked up, she's dead. Like, I don't like seeing dead people and then you see their bodies like dead in a movie. Like Mickey from Rocky, I know that he died, and probably similar to how he died in Rocky, so it affects me a certain way. I'm like, oh fuck, Paul Walker driving away in Fast and Furious. I know he died in a car. When I see that car drive off, I'm just like, he gonna go crash and burn. Like, something's gonna happen. Yeah. It's like, it's sad. I don't like watching that. So they did that with Last Jedi, and then you had the bitch come out like Superman, and then she's gonna be in this next movie, and she was terrible anyways. Like, so fuck.
She comes out like Superman, like, I'm here to save the day, and then passes out for 2 minutes of the rest of the movie.
Yeah, it's like, for one, it's disrespectful as shit, because that looked funny. That really did. Like, she came out, people were making memes out of it. You're making fun of a dead person. Yeah, and it's like, that's why I hate Last Jedi so much. Like, that shit pissed me the fuck out.
This is what I was saying the whole time, man. This is what I was saying the whole time.
About what?
That freaking Disney would take over, and they would be like, hey guys, don't you remember this? Don't you remember that? We're gonna bring back the old Star Wars, the one you guys love, right? Episode 4, 5, 6, you guys love those. We'll bring back everything you love from those. It's gonna be great. Oh, it's great, we love Force Awakens. Okay guys, let's give you more of that. Last Jedi. No.
I was a fan of Force Awakens because it all felt like it was fresh in the sense that I haven't had Star Wars in a while, and this was a direct canon like continuation. And you had the big moments. I had Leia, and I had all these characters that I'd come to know. And one of the things is like that kind of sedated me for a little bit. But when it comes to the sequel, they can't necessarily go back and do the same moments like that because now you're creating a new franchise. So you got to give me something new to continue the story. It just can't be like, hey, remember this exact scene, shot to shot? Hey, remember these characters that are placed just like this in the one scene? Oh, do you hear this remix of the cantina in the background? Like, Spielberg got a hold of it? Like, you can't do that with a second movie. You get away with it with a reboot because that's what people are looking for quick little, like, hints and shit. But to keep a continuing of just having, like, where's Waldo for Star Wars reference, that's not how it's going to work.
Nick, if you want to compare The Last Jedi to Jurassic Park, you have permission from us to do it.
Here's the thing that's the freaking issue here, is that Disney is treating the Star Wars property exactly like the Marvel movies, and those two are completely different franchises in which Star Wars is something that's very, very special to people, and it is an event it always has been an event, even with the prequels, when it came out, that's like, oh, it's a new Star Wars movie, I gotta go see it. They only put these out, like, not every year, but like every couple of years, like this is a big thing. So like, that is what's so special about Star Wars. This is an event when these movies come out, versus like, you put out a Star Wars movie, yeah, it might not be episode 8, 9, 10 or whatever every year, but you put out a Star Wars movie every single year, and it's not special anymore, and people are starting to get, like, it doesn't feel like it's natural. It just feels like they're forcing people to write a script in a short amount of time, and it shows because they don't have...
I think that's the more problem. Yeah. I don't think it's about the yearly thing. I think it's that there's almost no quality control on this. Because how do you go from J.J. Abrams making a decent to really good fucking movie, Force Awakens, and then Rian Johnson fucking it up?
Alan, but that's my point, is that J.J. Abrams had a bunch of time to really put thought into the script, into everything for The Force Awakens, because it's the first out of like from several years of not having a Star Wars movie, versus going now, there have already been, 4 movies within the span of how many years that we've had since Force Awakens, which is, again, to my point, where it's like, you keep putting out these movies every single year, it doesn't give writers enough chance to really write a complex and very interesting and dynamic script, and which gives us mediocre freaking movies.
I think it's just the fact that it's a Star Wars brand, it's going to do at least decent numbers. I don't think it's going to take, like, what Ali said, it's not going to do no fucking, Avengers, Infinity War numbers, or it's going to make $1 billion like the first one did. And the fact that I think the China market wasn't even well received with Han Solo, but that was the case because I think Han Solo is now a real major character, like Luke, Leia, and all the staple characters. So it's one of those things that foreign countries tend to recognize things that are way more visible than background characters. So the thing is, like, it's just a toss up in the air because they're giving a good time because it's going to be like 2 years before we have another Star Wars, so that's going to give them time to actually give it development and actually come out with something. But honestly, like, I'm personally burnt from it. Maybe just like in 2 years' time when we actually see the film, then I'm going to enjoy it and I'm going to have a fight with Nick again about how good Star Wars is. But honestly, I have, like, me as a person right now and my current feelings, I'm not that big hype on it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to make us money.